Hey everyone, coming at you today from the farmstead. Kind of an interesting topic that occasionally comes up. I've gone down this road a few times with my relatives in discussions, and certainly I've gone down this road a few times in discussions with my own friends and farm friends and family in the area and stuff. Can a farmer go on vacation? That's the question. And when I say a farmer, I even mean a homesteader. I mean the hobby farmer. I mean the person that's just got a few animals. It's not as easy as it looks to go on vacation. It's not as easy as it looks to take a trip. Now, certainly can be gone for a day, folks. I get that. It's quite easy to do. You, put out your automatic feeder for the cats. You throw some dog food in the bowl for the dog and make sure they've all got plenty of water. And then, you're gone for the whole entire day, and the horses have their round bales, and the chickens have their feed in their feeder, the pigs have theirs, and the goats all have theirs. Certainly can be gone for a day. You probably could be gone for the day, one night over, and come back the next morning, depending upon how you do it too. These are all different types of options that are available for the farmer that are pretty easy and seem to be quite navigable for most of them. I know we've been gone overnight. We load up the animals one night as far as for food and waters, and you're gone that night, you're gone the next morning, and you're back by the next afternoon. But basically, you're still looking at pretty much a day. That seems to be the norm. So then when you get into longer events, like, you got a relative's wedding that's out of town, or maybe you want to go out and do a hunting trip like I've done in the past, how do you do that? Do you split the big family? Do you leave them behind? A few of them that can take care of things? Sure, these are all options. You take your wife and you split. I go out on the hunting trips and she stays home and takes care of the farm. That's fine. Certainly can do that. There's nothing wrong with that either. I'm not trying to belittle that by any means. You've also got your teenagers. Okay, well, if they're old enough, or your young son or young daughters that are now adults, if you got that kind of opportunity, take advantage of it. But sometimes you just don't. So then it kind of begs the question. And again, I get this at times because people follow us on Facebook and stuff, and they follow our farming and family and homestead channel on Facebook, and we yak back and forth about different lifestyle things and stuff. And one of them that comes up is can you pack the whole family up and be gone for a week? The answer is yes. Yes, you can, but it takes a little bit of help to do that. No farm can run without its farm hands in a situation like that. And then they might be family, they might be relatives, they could be neighboring kids, they could be 4-Hers, FFA, they could be a whole family next door where you take care of theirs, they take care of yours. And it's a scratch my back kind of thing. So I kind of wanted to show you what the process looks like for us when we're out of town, and kind of explain some of the things that we do, and maybe they'd be helpful for you guys too. I'm not always sure if it is or not, but hey, we'll give it a shot. So one of the first things I want to do is kind of explain the horses. The horses for us when we're gone, they're eating this. This is a netted bale, so it's enough hay to get 3 horses. If they were eating around the clock, probably be about 5 days. And it's going to be put up into the feeder, using the skid steer, okay? And we'll put this out right before we would leave. Now, granted, this is also what we feed, traditionally when we're home too, but what we do a little differently is, we have them locked out of that for periods of time so there's no waste. But when you're gone, it would be more of just a free feed ability. So certainly that's how that aspect is taken care of. Now, we like to give them some supplements and stuff. And what we do for that is these are their feeding buckets. These buckets go out, and they're in a proper order out there, and they're put in the shed. And then when the farmhand comes once a day to take care of the horses, which she will do, we're real blessed to have somebody to do that, we just label up the bags. So there's Toby's bag for Saturday, there's Jules, and there's Maybell. Everything is in there, makes it really easy. So if we do like a Sunday and a Saturday, if we do, you know, Mondays and Tuesdays, if we do different days, we've got it all right here for them. They don't have to measure. They don't have to go over in where the rabbits are in there, and you know, where the feed stall is, and you know, deal with, here's the list and here's the paperwork and stuff you got to do. So that makes it a little bit easier for them, so to speak. Okay. Other things that we do to try to make it easier for them is try not to give them, you know, a bibliography book. We found that to be difficult. So when it comes to, you know, what we give them for paperwork, this is kind of it. It starts out here at the top, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty readable. Horses, you know, you give them one bag of feed in each of their buckets. Just check them over. Toby in the summertime and sometimes even in the winter, because of snow blindness, gets a fly mask on. Check if the hay is still in the feeder and that the water is still functioning, because it's an automatic water. Bare bones stuff. Check to make sure the horse fence light is working. We'll jump right to chickens as long as I'm on it. Get the eggs. We give them some cartons, and we let them take the eggs home. But there's a bunch of cartons here for them. Go out and get the eggs. Make sure their waters are filled. Give the bucket of shavings to the wet areas if there are some in there. Check and see if anybody's hurt, and make sure the door's shut. That is really easy. Real basic stuff. We'll give them a little quick check off just to make sure they're looking at it and paying attention. And then we've got some chickens in the barn that are growing up. Again, make sure they got food and water and a handful of shavings, and see if anybody's hurt, and shut the door. Piece of cake. Check the porch. Make sure there's no packages or anything on it. This is the list for the chickens and the horses. And again, the food for these animals is right here as far as the horses go. Egg cartons are right here for them. It's all in one spot. All they got to do is gain access. Like I said, the feed pails would be in place, and the hay is out there for them. So, piece of cake. Chickens and horses, that's all it's got to be done. It takes one person probably maybe 10 or 15 minutes with the chickens, and probably likewise for the horses. So those two animals are covered. Inside for the cat, which we've got several of them in the house, and the fish tanks. Well, the fish tanks are automated, so we've got complete control of them with the Apex. So we do pack up the cats so that the farmhands don't have to go in the house, and we, take them to a friend or relative or to work and let my staff take care of them, which is the easiest. So 2 little fur balls get packed up, and we take them somewhere for a week so they're not stuck in the house worried about whether their automatic water or something like that would have worked. Okay, so inside the house there's basically the cats and the fish. The fish are automated, and we have access via the internet to monitor that situation. And the cats are taken out. As far as the horses and the chickens I just showed you, I don't have any rabbits at the moment. I have no meat rabbits in here, but if we had meat rabbits, it would be the same way. We'd have little bags set up, which would mark to their cages, and we would take care of them. So, with that being the case, that leads us down to the goats. I need to hang these pails anyways, as long as we're going down there. And we can talk a little bit about those guys. Now, in the summertime, we would have the pigs, and there's really no maintenance with the pigs for these guys either. The pigs have an automatic waterer, so that's good. And they have a great big, 2,000-pound tub feeder. So very, very simple for them, too, if we're gone during the summer. In the wintertime on the farm, I typically don't have the pigs. I buy my piglets, I raise them in the summertime, and then I kill them off come fall. So that works out real well for me, too. So that makes it easy. But the goats, now that's a little bit more labor intensive, because, when you have a dairy and you got to milk them, you got to have people come in morning and night. So a lot of farmers will say, oh gosh, if you have a dairy, there's absolutely no way you're going on vacation. I'm not so sure of that, folks. You're able to go on vacation. You just got to have a good person that knows how to milk, or a couple of them. And you got to give them some good instruction and make it as easy as you can for them so that they're not, you know, I don't want to say it's swamped by, you know, reading a book and feeling like it's overwhelming and it takes forever. No, you know, we want them to come in and hopefully get done in an hour, hour and a half, morning and night. They can take the blessing of the milk because they worked hard to get it. They can enjoy being around the animals and feeding them, and we'll make it work. Here come the horses in, by the way. They think I'm feeding them, even though I'm not. I'm just actually hanging their buckets. I'm going to get these buckets hung here real quick. They're probably going to come up and say hi to me. Hi, guys. You guys just want to say hi to me, don't you, huh? You want to see if there's anything in those buckets, don't you? And again, by hanging the buckets, then it works out really well for the farmhand who comes in to feed once a day. Hi, guys. All right, Maybelle. So this is Maybelle, if you guys haven't met her. She's just a beautiful horse. She's really nice. She's a rescue. Toby, who's wearing the fly mask in the middle of winter because he gets a little snow blindness going on there. He gets a little uveitis when the snow is real bright like this. He's another rescue horse, and he's a great puller. Just absolutely love it. Come on, give me some room. Give me some room. Thank you. And then our oldest of the group and our herd boss, that's Jewel. She's only got one eye, but she's a fantastic horse. So again, we get these guys all set up. Their buckets are in place. We'll go out and put one of those round bales in that feeder out there like that. And we'll set the gate so it won't lock them out. So 24/7 they can have access to that. And the farmhand will come out and feed them once a day, typically in the late afternoon or evening. And the horses will be taken care of. So now I'm going to make my way back up here. We're going to head back over to the goat barn here. We're going to go through what that looks like for a farmer to go on vacation with his family. And don't get me wrong, you know, it's a fair amount of work to pack a suitcase and get yourself out of town. And this adds to it that you've got to do some of this prep work. But if you got things set up like on a, you know, spreadsheet or a clipboard that you can print off, it actually goes quicker than you think as far as getting the instructions out. And one thing we do is, like our farm hands, a couple of them that we use, they come out and milk. So they were out this week on Monday and Wednesday and milked with us. So when it does come time to go on vacation, you're all set. They already know how to do it. So this is our big feed bin, as you guys know, for the goats. But we're not going to have them try and remember, you know, whether they get this cup or this cup worth or even that cup worth, which all have different measuring marks on them. We don't make it confusing for them, folks. Try to make it easy. We use the pail system. We put the goat's feed in pails. This is the front goat barn. So we've got all the days all set up. Every day is right there. This is, again, the front goat barn. You know, so these are all set up for these guys right here, which makes it absolutely perfect. And then as we come back into over here, we've got more feeding pails that we can set up if we need to. We don't need to right now. No reason to. Because that set of small pails is perfect. When we get into this section here, this part of the barn, we do the exact same thing. The stalls are labeled. The ladies are all in here. And we organize the food. In here, we do it by Ziploc. It's just easier. There's a couple different goats in different birthing pens with different kids. We label them up. All they got to do is come down here and see that this is Crystal's food for Friday PM. This is her Saturday morning food. That's her Monday food. Yada, yada, yada. So this works out really, really well. And again, trying not to overload people with paperwork. We've got basically 3 sheets of paperwork here. You know, this says back goats. This has the dairy goats feeding schedule on it. Those front goats and our bucks and a couple outside goats. Very basic spreadsheets, few notes on it. Make it easy for them. That's what I would recommend. We label the cages, but we also give them a small map. That helps, just so they understand where everything is. And this will be here for them, and they can make use of it. We also try to make sure they've got all the supplies they need. You know, if it's going to be crappy weather, we've got, you know, shovels and brooms and stuff all here for them. We keep a set of flashlights. They know where all the headlamps are. We've got, you know, refrigerator with supplies in it for them that they need if they need anything. You know, we've got the milker all set up. We got an extra milking line and stuff set just in case they need it. So that way, when we're working with these goats and they're in here, if they have any questions, they certainly can reach out to us, because most of the time we're still reachable, but it makes it a lot easier for them. When the food is all made up like this, there's no issues at all in a barn like this with them having to give any medications, which actually there is none while we're on vacation typically. But as far as supplements and stuff and quantity, it's very simple, and it mitigates the risk of them accidentally feeding the wrong ones, the wrong stuff. So it works out really, really nice. So in this barn, the waters, as you can see, they're all the pan waters, and they're all automatic, which is great. So those are all set for them. Outside goats have the automatic waters out there. So all they got to do is check that. These goats that are in the stall, they've got to give some hay to. Obviously, we've got some kids that come into these creep stalls, but again, these creep feeders are empty at the moment. They get filled each day. The kids, you know, mow it all down. It's in the bags on the floor over there, all labeled for them, so it makes it easy. So basically, we have 2 people that show up morning and night that do the milking with these goats, which is absolutely fantastic. Look at this little buck. He's just a cute little thing. They help take care of stuff for us, and then they take home the milk. I got one more person that comes in, like I said, and she takes care of the horses and the chickens and stuff, and she's taking care of the kitties and help us if we had any fish issues. And again, everything is spelled out real nice. Oh, yeah, this is that little buck's. This is Blitz's. This is his little pail. Isn't that cute? He gets his little stuff too. Oh, I think that's fantastic. With that being the case, you know, we do have cameras in here which can help us to see things if they need us to look at something that's not working. You know, got the house has got its typical alarm system, so that's all protected. And, you know, we're in cell phone reach when we're gone. And I think that's fantastic. That allows us to take off. We try to always plan it, folks, so that when we take off, look at these little guys all saying hi. That again, the feeders are all stocked with plenty of hay. Everything's pulled down for them. We have no kids coming or birthing occurring at that time. So we should try to plan that to make it as easy as we can. Again, a lot of us for farmers will do this in the winter because you have less livestock. We don't have to worry about the pigs and the rabbits right now. And that makes it go a little easier too. So that all helps when trying to take some time off. You know, you never can predict what the weather's going to be. We got through an ice storm about, a week ago, so things are a little slippery out here. So they'll just have to be a little careful where they walk. But otherwise, things weather-wise, you know, you just got to be as prepared as you can when you're gone. You know, leave them shovels, you know, let them know what they got to clean out or take care of to keep animals from, you know, not getting to waters or something, you know, in case it snows a bunch on them. You know, make sure that they know where the shovels are for different barns and stuff like that. And that's all easy stuff, pretty self-explanatory. And if they do call you, you can easily tell them where to go to get access to it. Head down here to the chickens. And the greenhouse is down here too. The greenhouse is all automated though. So the only thing we'd have to do with stuff that's in there is just make sure that the plants would get watered once a day. That actually makes it pretty easy. Let's go in here for a second. Got some little birds in here. Look at those little guys. These are some 4-H chickens. They obviously got their little roosting box there, but they don't roost much yet. But they're just getting used to us. They got some nice feeders. We leave a bag of shavings for them here. Let's see if I can get in here quick for a second. So you got the water there. We've got the automatic one plus the bucket one, which is fantastic. And like I said, the birds are looking great. And this is a real easy area that they just come in and check, make sure it's doing well. We also have camera ability in here, so we can see if we need to, if we have any issues. The furnace is propane in this barn, which works out fantastic. And we do have a temperature probe. Ooh, it's getting a little dusty up there. Get some of that dust down. Chickens do make dust. And that's on the wireless system, and it goes to the Wi-Fi. So we have access to know what the temperature is, and it would certainly alert us if something were to happen while we're gone temperature-wise. So that is fantastic for this building. So pretty easy for people to take care of those for us. And then in here we've got our main layers. We don't have any meat birds this time of year, so that does make it a little bit easier to go out of town. As you can see there, the greenhouse is doing great. It's nice and warm inside of there. It's going to be a little louder in here because it's the chickens. So these are the roosting birds down here. And they look fantastic, obviously. They're going to lay eggs and stuff in there that the farmhands will take care of. They just got to make sure there's water and make sure the feeder is filled up. That's basically all we got to do. It works that easy, folks. This is, again, another barn that, we've got automated with the ventilation system. We keep the temperature pretty static with whatever's outside within reason. Sure, it's a little dirty this time of year because, it's February and we don't clean out the barn in December or January because of the deep cold here in Minnesota. But we'll get to it come spring and it'll be nice again. So we just keep adding shavings, letting the bedding build up. They make sure we got food in that big barrel, which will last them the whole entire time we're gone. And the water will be filled up, and these guys will be pretty self-sufficient. They've even got a pecker block and, dust bath area and stuff like that. So not a lot of work, again, that has to be done other than collecting eggs and checking them each day. So that's what makes it a lot easier for the farmer to have a vacation, so to speak. So when people ask me, and they certainly do quite often, they say, well, gosh, Ryan, it's amazing that you get out of town every now and then, being that you've got a farm and you've got livestock and you've got milking. And I tell them, yeah, it is. But it's all thanks to good help. Pay your help, obviously. That might be monetary-wise. That might be in product-wise. One of my farmhands loves muffins and donuts. So when she shows up, there'll be muffins and donuts for her. The other ones like taking the product. They like the milk that they get while they're here milking, and they enjoy doing it for, gosh, I guess their faith and their own well-being. So I guess I'm going to answer this question because it keeps coming up online on the blogs. Can a farmer take vacation? The answer is yes. You can take a vacation. You can be gone for a week. Do a little bit of planning. Try to keep it simple for folks. And I think you'll find that you can go out and have a nice vacation, especially if you time it when things aren't quite as busy on your farm, and you can enjoy it. It's just the honest truth, folks. I appreciate you guys liking and following along. If you're on your mobile phone, hit that bell. If you're on your computer, please subscribe and follow us. We put out some fun videos throughout the year. Thanks for watching, folks. And hey, if you're on a small homestead, plan a vacation.